Hey up, chat again.
Welcome to Chatty Guys Chat.
This week we're going to be talking about what we've been up to because he's Colin.
He's Tim.
And together we are the Chatter Guys.
Come on, let's get chatting.
Well, Colin, this time last week we were in Benidorm.
We were. Let's talk about our time in Benidorm, shall we?
Yeah, we just went for 4 nights, wasn't it?
It was. We got there on Thursday.
Yeah, and we came home Monday evening.
And we flew with Jet2 first of all. That were a good experience, weren't it?
Yeah, Jet2, our favourite airlines, they can just do it, can't they? It's just like clockwork. They've got everything organised. At every stage that you go to, there's someone to tell you what to do, you know, if you're a bit unsure. Love Jet2. But we also took advantage of the new to us, the new lounge at Leeds Bradford Airport, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the extended Premier Lounge has only just been opened up because it had two before, didn't it?
Yeah, it had a Premier one and a more basic one. And we tried the more basic one and we thought it was okay, but they've combined them together now and it's bigger and better than ever. What did you think?
I thought the experience, the staff were absolutely a delight, and just to get away from the hustle and bustle, just enough for me is enough worth paying for without the extras that you get.
Yeah, because you get like free breakfast, you get free unlimited drinks, you're not allowed to get drunk, pretty much, don't you? You get as much as you like, lovely coffee, very nice experience, and the lounge is so much bigger now, they've got a quiet area. Which I think is fantastic because, like, if you're travelling for work, you can go in there and get a bit of work done.
I did appreciate that quiet lounge. I'm not sure how quiet it would have been if the chaps that were sitting next to us, they moved into quiet room, and I'm thinking, they're not grass, but it's a quiet room.
Yeah, they were having some sort of debate, weren't they? They weren't using their indoor voices, shall we say.
They were just annoying.
Very annoying, yes.
I found the flight experience to be perfect. I really did. No complaints with the flight.
Yeah, spot on. Again, Jet2, they just know how to do it.
So, landing into Benidorm, we experienced the EES system.
Yeah, it's the first time that we've come across it. What did you think of it, Colin?
The first impressions were, is this real? Is this it were a palaver because we had to spend 10 minutes queuing without understanding what we were queuing for, without understanding what the implications of it were. To me, they should have had some sort of like television screens telling you what to expect, or for instance, it were a good 10 minutes that woman behind us said, is this the queue for registration or is this the queue to go and get? And I said, I don't know what you mean. She said, well, I've been through this before and I've registered. I don't know even if I'm supposed to be in this queue. And I said, to be honest, we've not been before, so we don't know what's down there.
Yeah, the point is that it was a queue, we didn't really know what we were queuing for. And there were people in there who were registered and people who were unregistered. And it turned out that it was just for people who needed to register. So there were people spending time in that queue, making the queue longer than it needed to be, who had already registered, who could have just gone through the regular security procedure. Anyway, we eventually got to the front of the queue, didn't we? And we had our fingerprints taken and our photograph taken and our passports photographed.
That was just for the registration part of it, weren't it?
Yeah, and then you have to go through the regular security gate, yeah. But in future, for the next 3 years, we won't have to do all that fingerprint business. We can just go straight through the security gate.
The most queuing was to get into the to register. That was the most part of the queue.
And I think the worst thing about it was nobody knew what they were queuing for, and people who were already registered were in that queue, which was making the queue longer. But just to jump ahead, on the way back, it was a completely different story, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we didn't have to queue to register.
No, but there were people there at every point to ask you, are you registered, and to point you in the right direction if you weren't registered, and to point you in the right direction if you were registered. It was so much more straightforward because you knew exactly where to go and what to do. So it was 100% better, and it should have been like that on the way in, I think.
It took 45 minutes coming in, and it took 5 minutes coming out.
Yeah.
So I think with that bit of organisation, it would have reduced it down to about 30 minutes coming in.
It wouldn't have taken much. Yeah.
And also, the next time we come in, it will reduce the time that we spent going through the second gate were like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be straight through in future.
So the EE system is nothing to be worried about in a nutshell.
No, it was just a bit disorganised, and maybe they'll get themselves sorted out at Alicante.
Moving on, when we landed into Benidorm, we had a fantastic experience checking into Hotel Tanit. The hotel is absolutely brilliant. We've done a review on that on the channel. That's something to look out for.
Yeah.
100% would recommend that hotel.
We would, yes.
Then we moved in. We went with our friend, didn't we?
Yes, Em from the channel Out With Em was there with us. She arrived, she came from London. I think was it Gatwick she flew from? I don't remember.
Stansted.
You're right. She arrived an hour after us, so it was nice because she'd never been to Benidorm before, and we were showing her around, and we were seeing it through her eyes, weren't we? Through new eyes, because we've been like a million times, and it's like our second or third home.
I think sometimes we take it for granted when we're there. Not take it for granted, but we see it as being our second home rather than being a holiday place, where Em was seeing it for the first time as a holiday maker.
Yeah, so it's really exciting to see different stuff, and we're like, oh yeah.
She's like, look at this is so beautiful, and I'm looking at it thinking, you're right. You're right, Em.
But yeah, it was lovely to see it through Em's eyes.
The first night, oh my God.
We never learn.
But the thing is, like, even because you've been flying all day and you're tired,
and you're dehydrated.
You're dehydrated. As soon as you start drinking on your first night, it's game over basically.
But do we pace ourselves?
No. So we took him out to some of the best bars in Benidorm. Of course, we had to take her to the first drink. We had to go into Betty Boo's.
Yeah, strongest cocktails ever.
Yeah,
so they keep the shots flowing, Chatter Gang. If you're ever in Benidorm Old Town, do pop into Betty Boo's and tell them the Chatter guys so that you can have a free shot, and they'll look after you.
They'll look after you, but basically you move in there and you get the Spanish measures to start off with. So you see them tipping that bottle, and I was just measuring it last night when we had a quick gin. And I poured the double gin into the measure, and I poured it into glass, and I'm thinking, yeah, but over in Spain, they just over bottle, over glass, and they just don't stop. And it's just like, no, you must be having a quadruple gin. You've got to be. So we took her around Betty Boo's, we took her then into G Bar, then I think we took her into Secret Encounter, 3 of our best bars in Benidorm.
Yeah.
And that's all we needed to go into. We didn't need to go into any more bars because we were literally hammered. Because you get your shots in them bars as well.
It's not appropriate for men of our age. We should know better.
I got up the following morning for a breakfast. I got up and I could taste all the shots that were going through in my mouth and my mind and my head, and I was just like, I think I was 8 on Richter scale of being 0 being not affected by alcohol and 10 being still drunk, and I were an 8. I really was.
And then the next night we went out, and Em's like, I'm not drinking. And we're like, oh, well, we're going to Nova cocktail bar. She went, oh yeah, I'll have a cocktail.
Because that's not proper drinking, is it? Believe me.
Em thinks if it's a coloured drink, it's not alcoholic.
Believe me, the next bar that we have to recommend that you go into in the Old Town. And even if you're in the New Town, come to the Old Town, even if it's just to go to this bar, because it's an unbelievable experience. It's called Nova.
They've got some incredible cocktails. Em and I had one called a Moo, which is one of the creamy cocktails. It was tasted like orange and mint, which sounds like a weird combination, but you know what? It was delicious. And I had 2.
I had an espresso martini, which is probably my go-to cocktail of choice. The waiter said it was his. I think he might have told everybody their cocktails were his choice. But let me tell you, I had to have another one because the first one was so good. It was salted caramel martini. It was unbelievable. It really was. They weren't huge measures, but what you got were quality measures.
Yes, you're right there. And the staff there are fantastic. They make you feel so welcome. For example, I arrived there earlier than the other 2, and I said, I've got 2 of my friends coming. All right, no problem, we'll find you a table. Would you like a drink while you're waiting? I will. I don't know how long them 2 will be. And then you 2 turned up, and then, all right, rest of the gang's here, we can get started. And they were really flirty, weren't they?
Yeah.
All the staff.
Yeah.
Made you feel really welcome. They came over and had a chat, even when You didn't have an empty glass in front of you. They came over and chatted, so it's clearly they weren't just there just to see, do you want another drink? Although obviously that's on their agenda. But a lovely bar, and it's great for people watching because it's on a corner. And on the night we were there, all the sides were open, weren't they? But when it's a bit colder weather, they have glass up there, so you can see it's great for people watching.
It's a very intimate bar, and it's a wonderful experience. Fully recommend that. The following day, then, this is moving on to the Saturday, we organised to meet up with some Chattergang members.
We did. It was Ben and Samantha and Lauren and
Dan.
Tom. Dan, not Tom. Dan.
And we went day drinking on the New Town.
We did.
I've got some bars in mind, but one place that I definitely wanted to start from was the loudest bar of all of them, I think, during the day, Uncle Ped's. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I thought once we get Uncle Ped's out of the way, the rest of them will seem tame. We got there, did we get there the first with Em, and I could see Em's face. We're looking around thinking, I'm not sure about this.
Where have you brought me? It is an eye-opener when you go. When it's in full flow, Uncle Ped's, people just messing about, being loud.
Lads with the tops off.
Yeah, proper party atmosphere, but very full-on in your face.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the Chattergang turned up, and some of them hadn't been there before, and you could see the faces. But do you know what? They embraced it. They got on with it, and we had the best afternoon with them, didn't we?
We did. We left Uncle Ped's and we went on to Riviera. That was really nice, Riviera. I think that possibly might have been our best bar.
Definitely. For my day drinking, Riviera every time. It's got a bit of shade, waiter service, and bucket deals as well, just to match anywhere.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We took them down onto the strip then, so they could have the experience of being on the strip, because a couple of them were new to Benidorm as well, so I think they may not have seen they definitely had not seen that part of it. We then went on to California Bar, and then we did a bit of karaoke, didn't we? But we had such a fun afternoon. It was absolutely brilliant.
We did, and it was great. And then they went back on the strip because they wanted to see what it was looking like at night, didn't they?
Yeah.
As well, after we'd left them.
So that were a really good day. We got so drunk we couldn't go out we couldn't go out during the night because we were still drunk.
No.
We ended up going into McDonald's of all places.
Yeah, but
not McDonald's.
We did go to McDonald's, but we couldn't eat there because Em is vegetarian and they didn't have the vegetarian option. So we tried somewhere else.
Burger King.
We tried somewhere else.
Oh no, we tried Popeyes and they didn't have a vegetarian option.
Nope. We did try tapas at some point as well for Em, and there was very little for vegetarians. So
Benidorm.
That's something that we'd not been aware of, was it? Because we're not vegetarian, we weren't conscious of that. But
Benidorm is definitely not a good destination if you are vegetarian, I'll tell you that.
Or if you do know a good vegetarian place, please let us know.
Yeah.
We might test it out.
The curry places are normally good because they have got a really good vegetarian option, but we didn't go for a curry.
We went down for a restaurant meal, we just wanted a little snack, didn't we? Another lovely part of the holiday was meeting Lucy of the channel Benidorm Stuff. She's the Benidorm enthusiast. We'd gone out for breakfast one morning, just Colin and I, and Colin noticed that Lucy had been doing a live broadcast from the beach in Benidorm, so we stalked her, didn't we?
We did. I could work it out exactly where she was, or round about exactly where she was sitting. And as we were walking down to the place where she were, I kept saying to Tim, she's still not live. I kept checking on YouTube. And then when she was coming to the end of the live, it was almost where we were there.
Yeah, it couldn't have worked out better, really.
No. But we bumped into her, and we just said, we'd love to take you for a coffee. And she said, no, come with me. We've got a new bar. We're going to try out. So you're welcome to come with us, didn't she?
She did. Yeah, we didn't fanboy her on this occasion. Well, we did a bit. But yeah, she said, oh yeah, come with me. And we went to try the Tipsy Jockey, which had just opened that day. I had a drink with Lucy. It's lovely to see her. She's always been a great help with this channel, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's given us lots of advice, lots of encouragement. We did a collaboration with her on her channel, which brought in a lot of subscribers for us because it opened us up to a new audience. So we're really grateful to Lucy. She's been invaluable to the Chatter Guys.
Tipsy Jockey, just a quick one on that one. It's a new bar just opened up on the same weekend where we were there. It's going to be a great place. It's got a theme, obviously, a horse theme, but it's going to be a great little bar. It's right in a good location. Moving on to the weather.
Weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot, not too cold. It's a little bit chilly on a night. That's the only bit I didn't really like. I had to put my coat on 3 of the nights that we were out. But by the end of our visit, it warmed up enough that you could go out in a t-shirt. But during the day, it was perfect. Not too hot, not too sweaty. T-shirt and shorts. Weather fantastic. What did you think, Colin?
I would say that if you don't mind putting a hoodie on a night, start of April or mid-April is the perfect time to go. If you don't want to be having to take a hoodie out on a night, then you're probably better off going in May until it gets a bit warmer.
I would say so. To me, I found it a nuisance because it's the same like when you go out and about in here and you've got your coat, like where do you put it, and then you've got to remember to bring it up with you, take it out with you, and where do you put it while you're having a drink? It's just a nuisance.
So what's been some of your highlights of that holiday, Tim?
Well, my highlight was day drinking with those guys.
Me too. And it was also meeting the other subscribers that we met as well. We met tons, didn't we? We met absolutely tons.
That's wherever we go, but whether we go to Blackpool or wherever, we love meeting subscribers, and we met quite a lot in Benidorm, so it's lovely to see everybody.
And thank you to everyone what did come up and asked for pictures or asked to chat with us. It's always a pleasure, it really is.
Yeah. So we arrived home Monday. It was just after midnight when we got back home. It felt freezing cold, didn't it, when we got back? Oh
God, it was so cold.
And we both had work the morning afterwards because we do have full-time jobs as well as being the Chatter Guys. And we got up on Tuesday morning. Well, Colin was just lolling in bed, as always. I got up, no hot water.
I'm like,
what?
I've been travelling all day yesterday. I need a shower.
It's just like, we've got to go to work. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have to boil the kettle and just have a strip wash anyway. I was like a proper bloke, and I had a look at the boiler, and I kind of worked out what was wrong. The water pressure had dropped. There was a little message on the front of the boiler saying the water pressure's dropped, and I was like, well, what do you do? So I asked Google Gemini, and she told me what to do, and it was pretty straightforward. It's like a lot of things. Once if you know what to do, it's pretty straightforward. So we got a hot shower, didn't we? Before we didn't have to stink the place out when we got to work.
It's an interesting fact there what you've just mentioned about Google Gemini. In the past, and this is why a lot of YouTube viewers have dropped down, and that this is what everybody's blaming it on now, is ChatGPT and Gemini, because previously you might have gone to YouTube to watch that video.
Yes, I would.
And then you would have watched another video, you might have seen another thumbnail, or you might have watched another video, and it might have reminded you to have gone back to YouTube, and that's why YouTube's struggling now.
Yes, that's very interesting. You're probably right. Because I would have. I'd have looked for a YouTube video, but Gemini's a lot quicker. So we've had a very busy week, haven't we? Because we got everything prepped to cover the time that we were away, but then we were back on Tuesday. Straight away we had the Tuesday chat, so we had to get all the pictures ready and get ourselves set up for Tuesday, didn't we? And we'd not even properly unpacked by that time.
Exactly, and I thought we'd scheduled a video to go out on the Thursday, and we blind panic thinking we hadn't, and then we had to sit down and work out who were going to get that video out on Friday, who had enough time to get that video out ready and up posted and ready for Thursday, and it was just like, it's going to be the first time in 2.5 years we've forgot a day, but we managed to bring it back, didn't we?
We pulled it off in the end, and then while we were away, our Easter in Blackpool video had been taken down by video because of a privacy issue, which was very annoying because although they don't tell you who's complained about you, they do tell you the segment of the video that is relevant to the complaint, and this person that was featured in that element knew full well we were videoing them. Anyway, long story short, we had to re-edit that video, so we had to edit this person out and post that up again, and touch wood, it's been fine since then, hasn't it? But
Yeah.
we lost a lot of views on that one.
And we don't know whether we've lost us revenue from it because it's hard to work out really. But anyway, that's
But
fine.
that was just something else that we had to do. And then we wanted to kick off our Benidorm videos from this Sunday, but we had another Blackpool video to get out. So we squeezed in an extra video, didn't we, on Saturday?
Yeah.
So you've had a lot of content from us this week, Chat Gang. I'm very sorry about that. But that's why it's been a very, very busy week, because we got back from holiday, and then we had to churn out, get all these videos up and running as soon as we can. But nevertheless, Colin, you managed to get back to the gym, didn't you?
I got back to the gym. I did one gym visit on Friday, which was a shock to the system, but actually it weren't too bad. I really enjoyed that gym visit on Friday. I thought I was going to really, really suffer. I would have suffered if I'd have gone on Wednesday, but I was too tired to go on Wednesday. Too tired.
We were shattered, weren't we?
But I really, really enjoyed the gym visit on Friday.
And then yesterday, we went car shopping, didn't we?
Yeah, well, it's no big secret, but we're moving to Blackpool. When we're going to be moving to Blackpool, I've got to have a flexible job because we want to do more travelling, and that job may be doing taxi driving. So I went to have a look at what I thought were going to be a perfect taxi car, and it is going to be a perfect taxi car. It was a beautiful car. It was Skoda Enyaq 85. With a sunroof. It were absolutely beautiful.
I have to say, I'm not a car person, but it's a lovely car. It really is.
Electrical adjusted seats, interior lighting, sunroof, everything about it had bells and whistles everywhere. It were a perfect car. Anyway, long story short, took it for a test drive. Beautiful driven, no bumps in road. Absolutely a perfect electric car to drive. Come up to the sums, and I've lost so much money on that MG car that I bought. You won't believe how much depreciation. I were expecting some depreciation of that MG car, but oh my God, I was shocked. Chattergang, you may see a 2-year review coming up on my MG3. What I'm saying to you is be very careful about buying an MG car, because you're going to lose so much money on that. You're going to be shocked. And the garage people, when I bought it, said, this is not going to happen because you've put a lot of trade in for this car. So your trading that you've put in, it'll put you in good stance when you come to sell it. No.
Having said that, Colin, in defence of the MG3, if you weren't looking at trading it in, you're still in love with it, aren't you?
Oh, I'm still in love with it, and I would still recommend it. However, just be careful that you're going to lose a lot of depreciation value. If you can get a second-hand one, that might be a better option.
Well, yeah, maybe. And depreciation don't matter if you're not going to sell it. You like it as a car to drive.
To be honest, I think any car, when you buy it brand new, you lose a certain amount when you take it off at forecourt anyway,
Absolutely
don't you?
do. Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah, never mind. Anyways, he's not getting one of them cars now. We're going down a different route. And then last night, we had a relaxing evening last night, didn't we? We had a nice gin and tonic, except the boiler kept making this clicking noise. And you know, like the noise that your boiler makes, it's not too noise, but it's the sound that it makes when the tap's running and it's heating up the water. And I'm like, well, the tap's not running. That's really weird.
Well, the thing is, the heating wouldn't have been on because it was quite warm last night.
So I thought, the heating on.
Do you know something? Do you know what I thought it was? I've done this a couple of times. I put my hands up to it. I don't know whether I've done it in this house. I might have done. Sometimes I leave taps on and forget that, and I don't know why, but I leave tap on, and straight away I thought...
I did think it was something like that.
Straight away I thought, I've left bloody tap on upstairs, so I run upstairs, but no, I've not left tap on.
Anyway.
So, that were it.
Anyway, we ignored it and we watched telly.
We had another gin, I think. No, we might have had another gin, or we might have watched another episode of... we're watching...
The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor.
We love it.
We're going to be medical experts by the time the series is finished.
We don't like medical dramas, but this one's fantastic.
It's a lot of blood. It's a lot of... It's not a lot of blood. They
don't overdo it, do they?
No, it's a lot of internal body parts. So if you don't mind watching a lung or a heart or a heart being passed on from hand to hand, if you don't mind that, it's all right. But you will turn into a medical expert.
Oh, yes. We could do brain surgery, I think, just from watching that.
Yeah.
Anyway... it gets to the end of the night, we're going to bed, and I'm in the kitchen clearing up, and I'm thinking, it sounds like it's chucking down outside. But it's been beautiful weather in Leeds since we got back home. So I look in the conservatory, oh my God, it was ankle deep in water, and what had happened is the water supply pipe to the back of the washing machine had worked itself loose, and water was just spurting out. It was just so.
I'm trying not to laugh at again because
I proper panicked.
oh, I said, calm down. You're going to have an heart attack. Just please calm down.
I was like,
I need to find stopgap, and I'm like, well,
we couldn't find the stop tap.
surely you know where stopgap is, but stop tap. But then again, I don't know where stopgap is. So
I know where it
I'm
used to
just
be.
as bad.
I know where it used to be before we had the kitchen done, but I couldn't find it. But so I'm trying to put this pipe back in. I'm absolutely soaking wet, and it's freezing cold water. Colin's trying to find the stop tap, and anyway, eventually I calmed down a little bit, and I saw there was a valve to turn the water off to the pipe. So I turned that, and it was I just wanted to cry because the conservatory was just awash, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just and I went, we can't do anything now. We're just going to leave it, and dried up, went to bed.
The thing is, we're planning to go on a walk today, so I thought, well, do you know something? If it means us missing out on his walk, it doesn't matter because we haven't had a wasted day. It's not like we had planned to do this, planned to do that, planned to do that. We would just go in on a walk. So I thought, if we have to sacrifice his walk, so be it.
So anyway, I got the conservatory cleaned out. Colin's done some editing. The thing is, the conservatory is so small, two of us would have been in each other's way. So I got on with that. It's the floor's nice and clean in the conservatory. I have to say that
It's
now.
spotless.
Fortunately, it's a nice, bright, sunny day, so everything that was wet's been out on the patio at the back, and it's dried out quite well. I managed to repair the washing machine, so I've been like a proper bloke this week.
I know, I can't believe it. It's been proper manly. He knows how to fix a washing machine,
Fix boiler.
fix boiler.
Yeah, one thing, interesting. We did go on our walk eventually. We just went on a much shorter walk. It was lovely, wasn't it? We just in the fields and up on the hills where we live. But I was panicking. I was thinking back. I was panicking when this water was gushing out of this pipe. But then we were in a field with a horse. Now, when Colin was young, you had a traumatic event with a horse, didn't you?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell people about that?
I would. So I don't know whether it was me or whether it was my cousin was going out with a girl that had some horses. So me and my cousin were playing out, as you say. That's an old saying, isn't it?
Playing out, yeah.
Because nobody plays out now.
Kids don't play out now, no.
So we're playing out at bottom of the street, and we could see these horses coming down. And I don't know what on these horses. It were either my girlfriend or my cousin's girlfriend. I can't remember now. But they come to us where we were stood. And she gets off the horse and she says, Colin, do you want to go on horse? And I said, oh yeah, I'll have a go on horse, thinking it will like being on a donkey ride, she was just gonna like walk me with me being on horse. So I got on horse, and then all of a sudden she whacked horse, and horse started it weren't slowly galloping. No, it didn't go off in like a 100-mile gallop, it went in a slow gallop up road. But I'm thinking, what do I do here? I didn't know how to stop it, I didn't know how to steer it, I didn't know. I mean, she must have trusted that horse, but I were absolutely shitting myself. And then it come to a stop. We've got an old people's flats up at top, and they've got a really big garden in back, and it come to a stop there, and all people are coming out saying, get that horse off at grass. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then eventually horse started moving on its own, and it was making its way down to busy road. I'm like, fortunately I grew up in a really quiet council estate village, but it were really quiet. There were no traffic in this village but it were making its way down to busy road, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen here? But after busy road, there's a little wall, and it jumped off that wall into a big field, and I'm like, oh my God. So I can officially say I am an Olympic horse jumper. Anyway, she must have known what was going to happen because she caught up with us in bottom field. But the look on my face, what I had, I was just like, get me off this thing.
The reason I brought this up is while we're on our walk, we're in this field and there were some horses in it. Colin's like, that horse is looking at me. and it wasn't. It would just walk, and then it decided it was walking along, and it went, it's cantering towards us. Can we
It
get out of
was.
this thing? But the reason I brought this up is that, like, to me, that just wasn't scary at all, and you were very nervous, weren't you? But it was it was completely the opposite. When this water's gushing out in the conservatory, I was in a full-on panic, and you were cool as a cucumber, and it just struck me that, like, different things affect
The fear of
different people.
things, yeah.
Just,
yeah.
It really struck me that. Anyway,
You know what struck me about that walk? The beautiful view of Leeds that you get. Oh my God, it's
Fantastic.
breathtaking. If you ever go out in a walk around Gildersom, oh my God.
yeah, we're very lucky where we live, because Gildersom, well, I say we're lucky, it is one of the highest peaks in the Leeds area. I say it's lucky because in the summer you get fantastic views of the city. In winter you get snowed in.
And that's brought us to the end of this week.
It is.
I hope you've enjoyed this Chatty Guys chat.
And if you have, we hope to see you next time. Thanks for listening, Chat Again.
Thanks for listening, Chatty Gang, and we'll see you soon.
We will. Goodbye.